In the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful, master of this day of judgment in which we now live. These alone do we serve, and these alone do we proceed for aid. Guide us along the right path upon those who brought down, nor who goes astray. O Allah, I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was his last servant. And I bear witness from the messengers that he sent down. The fall of America, her hour has come. Now, do they not know that the hour is here? You see, every cry is against them. So you have to be beware of them, because the curse of God is on them. So how are they deluded away from the truth? You see, Mr. Trump, I respect you as former president of the United States of America. But you see, I was under no illusion that you would have made America great again. So, Mr. Trump, this nation has become a habitation of devils, a home for every evil person, a cage for every hateful bird. So have you become a nation of devils? So, Mr. Trump, you killed my brother, Qasem Soleimani. And Miss Clinton killed my other brother, Ron Gaddafi. And you see, in your 2016 campaign, you said some rough things to your generals. You insult your intelligence. And you went over into Iran and made Iran a bulwark city, talking about we're going to go over there and take the oil. See, that's thug talk. See, that's a talk of a beast now. He went over into Gaza and trying to set up a mobilization, talking about we're going to go over there and demand their nukes now. Is this the man that raised all his havoc? Someone talk to me. Is this the man who promised the American people a future? See, this is why your life don't mean anything to you. And that's why David says, yes, Lord, I walk through this valley of shadow of death because I feel no evil, because the Lord are with me. Oh, my brothers and sisters, 99% of us don't even know that today our future is at stake. You see, with every evil spooner ready to do its worst, makes it difficult for the 99% ignorant to ever know what's at stake. You see, our people, they need a voice of a savior. Now, America, she has been warned. The dreadful times have come. And God had been pledged America with one storm, you see. One right after another. His divine retaliation against America.
People and friends of yours that happened. And
now, we have the deceivers and the deceives. We, the whole nation, are these lost found members of the Black American must remember that for this past 400 years, we have been wearied by the enemies of our fathers. According to their own history writings, bringing us up from our native lands and people into the westerns was not for the purpose of making themselves friendly people to us and our nations, but to deceive us as being that which they actually were, not a friend and advisor to us, while at the same time depriving us of truth, justice, and equality, even now, after this 400 years of servitude, slavery. We must remember that deceivers actually had deceived us, the coming of God, and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is to make manifest this arch deceiver, work against us, and to equip us with the nature of the arch deceiver, that deceit is part of his very nature. Here Allah comes to give us the knowledge of the God of evil, who have freedom for the past 6,000 years to deceive not only you and me, but also the entire nations of this earth. This is the great starvation that God, Allah, could bring to you and me, to know the source of our trouble and cause. The power of the manifestators is to remove this cause, which has affected the Black nation for 6,000 years. It is worth the heaven and earth to us when we agree on not trying to make them our friends, which by nature they cannot be even if they wanted to. Only a few have the brief of goodness. You see, by nature, they are not good, but they can practice goodness. Our position makes us victims today of these great scientific deceivers, the white race. Today, they put us to sleep as babies, and they know the type of noise that awaken the sleeping baby. The noise is that which Allah, an oppressive master Muhammad, has made. And he, Allah, has mission me to continue to make that noise until all our people are fully awakened from the slumber of the arch deceivers of the earth. Surely not all are really working to keep us blind, deaf, and dumb to the knowledge of the deceivers. But the few who will help us endanger their own life and trying to help us. And as you see, the Christian priests in Milwaukee profess to be trying to help those who want to live next door in the house of the children of our father's slave masters is having trouble. Even this easy can be classified as deceitful. Work against the true freedom, justice, and equality for our people. This priest is having trouble among us are open, victorious haters of you and me of his kind. This priest wants to help this poor black man here in America, especially in Milwaukee, to accept false friendship to forever be at their mercy to rule spiritually, economically, and politically. He is not trying to teach this black man that they should not want to sell themselves back to their slave master for a morsel or pottage. Priest knows by the scriptures in his Bible that the time is right for the total freedom of this 400-year-old slave of the white man to go to his own earth. The priest is wise to you that you shall have a place to live wherever you want. He would not have dared teach this openly before this day and time, the end of this world. The others are so evil and victorious to do us harm. We see that great gang of white people today out in the streets who attack that one poor man going through the area in his car. Get that Negro. You see, in Indianapolis, we got Nazis dressed in black suits. Now, you want to ask yourself, where in the world is going on that we got this chaos? White Nazis is walking around in black night suits. So this shows a counter actions of the white man in America. You see, ever since we have been here. See, going after the so-called nigger to do him harm. He always want 100 rights to attack that one black man. See, this shows cowardice and the savage of this white race against black people. The black man could put a stop to such attacker of this evil force, but we see it's not the way of Allah God. It's not the way of the prediction, as the priest knows. The coming of God and search for this black lost members of the nation today is to make himself known so he can conquer our captors by using weapons against which they have no powers. He Allah will bring the attack of divine judgment of the world without the use of contrived weapons. The weapons of war used by God in his past history of destruction of the enemy of God, such as Noah's people, Lot's people, and Moses' people, are example of what he will use today. See, the weapons are the force of the nature against which we have no defense. America is under such divine tax now, and storms as rain, hail, earthquakes, the latter is yet to take place. A terrific drought is on its way to against America. The books must be fulfilled. The Bible and Holy Quran both refer to all that I have said. This is the divine judgment to bring victorious America to her knees. See, America hates the people of God, and the Negro do not know that they are really the people of God. This is the great truth that you must come to the knowledge of, that you are a member of the families of God and not the members of the families of the devils. But you follow the devil's country to your own nature. The natural man, black, is of his God himself. We have been deceived of righteousness, justice, and equality by the art deceivers. We have been taken from the knowledge of self as being the true people of God. Now God is present, seeking us to place us again into the orbit, divine supreme being, where we can rotate in submission to the will of God as the entire universe is doing, except the right race. We cannot set up a better government for our people by using this corrupt political activities of these people, the art deceivers. All of their work was based upon deceiving the nations, not to bring them into friendly brotherhood and prosperity for the black man. Even today, after 400 years of so-called freedom, he is still against you going free. This is your trouble today. You are deceived and deceived by the enemy you think is a friend. But take notes of what he is offering you. He is offering you only a temporary enjoyment and not a permanent enjoyment for your people. We want some earth and not a temporary room in the house of our enemies. Let the political, spiritual leaders unite on such a stand as getting some earth for the people and not getting just a job and a chance to loll around sleeping. Allow the enemy to protect our responsibility for self. We must bear our own responsibility. This, the God of justice and truth, will force you to do before he will be defeated. His purpose and aim is to unite us to our own. He will fight the art deceiver with the force of nature, with his own wisdom, which has no equal to make you and enemy bow to his will. This is the judgment of the world, and especially of the white man in America who have been here for 400 years, living between the two oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific, to do as he pleases. The slave is deprived of the freedom to do as he pleases, but to do as the slave master pleases. Our great misunderstanding of self and of others lies in the deceits of these arch deceivers of us that will never teach you and me to do good for self, only under their own powers and dictatorship. What we need is unite, not demanding marching all over the country to live near the white man in his home, but demand a separate place for us in this country to help us with the means of civilization. As he had to get started in limited time, to get started within the next 20 or 25 years. Now, many scientists think that it is too late for this demand because of the anger of God against America for evil done to us. But Allah has power over all things, and he does that which he will to do. It is up to America if she wants to help us. It'd be a good putting us on a way to self by any evil one or nation. God the just will grant them a reward for doing such, as no good act goes without its reward. They deceive the so-called under temptation, filth, and the promise that he will be given jobs and a new home next door to them, in the same territory which their very nature is against, and which is without any future. It is temporary enjoyment. We want something permanent. Give us a few of these states to live in to ourselves, which we have well earned it for 400 years of free labor. When you see that his life and your life are at stake, to try to accept the present plan filled with deceits to a Negro, both you and he will welcome opportunity to agree on this kind of program. Unite with me, black brothers, for your starvation. We see this evil spreading far and wide. Never since the creation of Adam and Eve have there been such time as we are now witnessing today, with the worst yet to come. There is no peace among the nations of the earth. The only few people who enjoy peace of mind and contentment in this day and time are the elect of God, though they are persecuted from city to city, falsely accused and denied the credit due them because of the righteousness and the malice of the wicked who have ruled the world. By no means can the righteous be represented for the righteous sake by the evildoers of the world. God is despised and rejected. We see evil is accepted, and honor and justice stands afar. Iniquity cannot come in, said the prophet Isaiah in the Bible. This is why God used a powerful delusion so that people will believe the lies they hear today. So we see in the Holy Quran warns us to fear a day when evil is spread far and wide, and the days of God's presidency at this end of this satanic world to bring it to a nothing. Allah God caused this evil world to be upset, since they have been the enemies of peace, and the haters and destroyers of the righteous who have brought them peace if they had accepted those worthy of the prophets. But they reject all Jesus, charged them with being the true murderers of the righteous from Abel to Zechariah, and we can very well add more instead from Abel to Muhammad. Today, America professes to be the most Christianized country on our planet, but actually she is not. For Christian means to be crystallized into one. Spiritually, that one refers to the Christ. Now, Christ means the one who is coming. At the end of the world, of the wicked as a crusher. The name actually means one who is anointed to crush the wicked. The real satanic people are the right race, who have disgusted themselves to deceive the black people to follow them. They just use the name Christian, which means to be Christ-like. They have set up their head for their religion in Rome, Italy, with the Pope or Father who represent himself as being one who is second only to Christ or God, and to intercede for the people's sins and recognition of God. But he has no divine backing. This false should be destroyed by the Christ, the crusher of the wicked, the great of Islam. We see Allah God in person. These are the days of God, of Christ's presidency, to destroy this evil world. See, with all deceptions, that the people should again labor under a wicked ruler, the devil. See, the presidency of Allah has upset the devil who had and exercised total control over the world under falsehood and has made evil to appear fair seemingly. The so-called Christian world has never before displayed such madness as they do today. Since they cannot hide their real wickedness and deceitful ways, they are angry. According to this preaching and teaching of this Christianity, they prophesied that they alone will be the happy groups that will welcome this coming of the Messiah, the Christ. But the Bible condemned them, that they was angry and sought to hide their faith from Him, God. It should be clear to you today that Christian America does not want such preaching and its entire submission to the will of Allah's Islam. Christian hates the very name of God, which are attribute, such as we see Muhammad, which are attribute of God. You see, Jesus prophesies that they will hate you for His God namesake, for having one of His names, because the name of God are to live forever. No, the name of God are to live forever. No other people on earth have the names of God but the Muslims. So the coming of just one will make manifest to you this evil race of sinners, and it will be against this God's presidency. Be angry because of him who will seek to destroy him and his messengers, as is prophesied in 2nd Psalm. Every nation has a term, and every nation has a term. So when a term comes, they cannot remain behind the least while, nor can they decide it. The Holy Quran, Surah 7:34. There was a term for a people in Noah, Lox and Moses. This also holds truth in life and death of individuals. All is under the control of Almighty Allah, especially when the divine beginning and ending have been appointed for the accomplishments of certain work that must be done by a life of peoples. The above chapter and the verses of Holy Quran is warning to a present nation whose term has now come to an end. If we know what is said to us, what is written today by the prophet for us to read, study, and ponder over, and if we understand, we should not fall victims to misunderstanding and disbelief. Because all your life, brothers and sisters, you live through fear and disbelief. They didn't lie to you. You know what I mean? The devil and bit you too many times. You've been bitten by the snake, and you've been affected by the sting. So all of a sudden it took God to move the sting from you being bitten by the venom. So now all our life we had fall victims to misunderstanding and disbelief. So we see the trouble with this black man in America is that he is heedless of the truth. For he was reared by the slave foster parents who is his enemy, the right race. They caused them to become heedless. It was the intention of the enemy to make the black man an enemy to the truth as himself was and is. This the enemy was successful in doing. For the black man in America is referred to as being blind, deaf, and dumb, in many instances as dead. This is the work of the enemy. Therefore, it took one who is our friend and not our enemy to do good to us and restore us to life mentally. Children's the father slave masters who took our life mentally are working just as faithfully as their fathers have been doing. Ever since 100 years have elapsed from the time of the slave fathers, the children are raised and educated more and method to keep this black man in America blind, deaf, and dumb. In the days of servitude slavery of our grandparents, we see this white slave master did not eat them, give them good food. Today, you can buy good food if you have the money. However, much of it is poison today by chemical use. The white slave master will offer a piece of fried chicken and a biscuit with a little butter on it to a so-called nigger. Ask an introducement for him, teach or preach what the slave master wanted him to all other slaves on Sunday morning. Slaves did not have the theologically of the scriptures, and he made his other brothers spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. See, today the same goes for these preachers of today. As you can see, they preach for reward for both whites and blacks. I have tried them for many years. You see, they are as their fathers were. They desire to do anything for this white man. They want him to give them better position, and they will offer to cut off their heads of their black brothers if it will please their masters. Although I live in a neighborhood with white neighbors, I do so for the purpose of proving that I can live in a neighborhood just as cleanly and noisily as they do. See, white people today, they do not like you to come to their neighborhoods jumping on them now and licking them in the mouth like a puppy. They do not want their friends to think that they are taking you for an equal. He will talk to you as a friend when it's not in the presence of members of his society. So they do not like you coming to their blocks, being your wife or girlfriend, and drinking in front of their house. See, no decent, intelligent person likes this, whether he is white ass no or black ass ace of spade. You can go to the jungles and you will not want this. See, late night, he and a gang of monkeys will come out and beat you up. See, an American so-called Negro have been made out of himself and kind by white Americans. He must now be reformed. In fact, God has promised him a new body. The Bible and Holy Quran teach us that we will be a new people altogether. He will destroy and act ignorant and foolish. He is not aware of his ignorant action because he has become a part of ignorancy. Now, the end of this term, which was set for this white man, have come. The average so-called the law found members of the black nation does not know that this the end of the world of this white man is rule over the black nation. He will not listen to one of his own kind who tell or teach him at the time and doom of the world that we have known, white man's world. They offer high position and money to the so-called Negro intellectual politicians who will work against the good of the black American people. They will accept such, but they have been deceived of love for self and kind. What do they care about the millions who are swallowed in the mud of civilization? They are content as long as they eat the butter biscuit and the fried chicken as their slave fathers did. So you would not think that they would hire themselves out to be Stewed pigeons. See, white man bootlickers, Uncle Tom, sissy pies, and these modern times an advanced education. But they are doing just that. They do not want the praise of God and their own black people. They want it from their slave master children. Slave master children will give it to them as long as they reject themselves in kind and worship the white people. So the white man is very clever in making a public fool of the black man. They showed this brown, yellow, red man what a good job they had done on the black man in America and throughout this earth. See, he's doing what nature bid him to do. I do not blame this white man anymore for making fools of our people today. It is the nature of this white man to make a fool of our people. But it's not the nature of our people to allow him to make a fool of us. But when you have been given the knowledge of yourself, the nature in which God has created you, you still allow this enemy to make a fool of you. And you do not have the sympathy of God and the righteous, not the knowledge. The divine terms that was given to the right race to allow them to make a fool of the black man and his rule. Him with tricks is now up. The devil with his tricks must be removed. He was given this chance to deceive you with his trickology. Therefore, God will not hinder the devil from tricking you if he can. This is written in the Holy Quran, chapter 7. God promised hellfire to both the devil and followers who can get from the black nation. Therefore, you and I, after the knowledge of this devil, his tricks, his terms, should not blame anyone but ourselves if we allow the devil to trick us. For that is the job of the devil. It is his nature. We blame ourselves and not the enemy. You lust for his half nude women and thirst for whiskey and beer. You desire gambling, robbery, killing each other for the personal properties of others. This is the work of the devil upon you. You do not have to allow him to cause you to live such a life. Do not blame them. Blame your foolish self. It has always been the policy of the white man to use the black man against the black man, especially leaders. Look at history. You see how he had deceived it and killed off the black leaders and forging lands, and then they took over themselves. This should be a lesson for you and me. We, the Muslim, have watched our people who have come amongst us as eyes and ears and stewed pigeons for white folks. When they have become converted to the truth and joined us, they confess that they are ashamed, that they have worked against us for a sake of a few perishable dollars. We know that this white man is our enemy, and wherever we are, he offers some silly so-called nigger at high office and high pay to work against us Muslims, the righteous, or any so-called nigger, whether he be a Baptist, Methodist, Holy Roller, Sanctified, some lazy so-called nigger will work against him for the white man. We gotta stop working for these people. Stop working for this white man. Declare yourself a Muslim today and see how much this devil will give you. See, he will give it to you if you preach that we are not devils. And that's the same when Satan says, I'll give you all this kingdom that I have if you preach today that we are not devils. And see, this is why Jesus says, as it is written, don't put the Lord your God to the test. Worship your Lord, your God. See, Satan's place is behind us and not in front of us. It is a shame, brothers and sisters, in such modern time to see blacks, politicians, and preachers accepting this position to work against their own black people for a few dollars for a race whose time have come to an end. You know, black people today are accepting such positions, you know, for a little peanut money. See, I want to say we are justified in taking it. If the white man will give us today $1 billion or $100 billion, we well deserve it. But we are not justified to sell our life for such a gift in this day and time. You see, whenever American designers and manufacturers can dress us up about 1/3 of a dress and turn us out partially nude. See, man is willing to put on skirts now and put on these dresses now. See, they've been here to humiliate you. See, you are the filthy rags. You are the scrum. You are the garbage of the earth, man. He's turning you out. You see, all this I give you if you just follow me. I give you to have my kingdom. See, today, brothers and sisters, you got to declare yourself a Muslim and see how much this devil will give you. He would say we would give it to you now. If you preach that we are not devils, we will answer that it's just the same as saying, if you do not teach the truth of me, so I can continue to deceive the world of your kind, I will help you. Remember what the Bible teaches us, that Satan says, Jesus, all these things I will give you if you will fall down and worship me, in Matthew 4:9. And he showed him the kingdoms of the world. Perhaps you will be off the world of the wicked pretty soon. And so the Bible says, what profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own life's soul? See, this is a warning to the preachers. The little money with its dying value will not even help you against God's aim and purpose of the resurrection of the dead. The law found members of the nation. See, you will lose your life. For so doing, you should. You have caused innocent ones who are blind, deaf, and dumb to go to hell with yourself and the enemies. You see, Allah, God, who came forth in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, the Son of Man, as is written, seeking to save that which was lost and to restore it again, that which hath gone astray. He said to me that he would eat this rattlesnake, save our life, and then he will walk 40 miles up a mountain to teach this one in order to save his life in exchange for our safety, return to our own, and take him for my God and my Savior. I advise you to do the same, regardless of the offer of the money, which is fast becoming worthless. Jesus refused the money and dwelt upon the truth that is written, that we must not worship Satan. See, Satan places behind us and not in front of us. It is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels of heaven, not to think of the fools who are in his hell. In the Bible, it is written that you accept the enemy, go down in a lake of fire with him. Read the passage of your Bible which dwell on the time of yourself. You see, America, the American white people are more concerned today about mistreating the black slave of America than America is concerned with any nation on earth that's attacking our outlying posts. Our enemies are intensifying the attack on her. America right out of the frying pan into the fire all over the earth due to her evil intention against her loyal black one slave. Her talk of evil doing against the black one slave in America is worse than it is against independent nations that are attacking and destroying her countries. See why America had more hatred for the black one slave and her millers who are faithfully fighting on the frying line to help her against her enemies than she is against the enemies that they are shooting down. White America talks of building concentration camps, prison house for the black one slave, the black man in America. See, I'm told, brothers, that America already have concentration camps built for this purpose. See, concentration camps are a jailhouse, prison house. That's why I cry day and night to my black brothers to seek refuge in Allah in such a time as this. Muslims do not have to worry about any such imprisonment. For the Muslim is already a citizen of the nation of Islam. And we have our own people, Muslim, to deliver us by the order of God. This is why it's so necessary. The black man in America accept Allah God and his names and get out of the names of the enemy white slave masters who does not seek to bring about peace for us. But enemy seeks to bring about our death today. See why America wants the black one slave to suffer that which is not due to the black one slave. The black one slave has not sinned, nor has the black one slave attacked other nations, except under orders of his white slave masters. You see independency. You see who independency since 1776. You black men have been worshiping the 4th of July, along with the real authors of the 4th of July, the white man, as a day of independency for themselves. It is the white slave master and his children who have enjoyed setting forth the 4th of July as a day of rejoicing over achieving this country of independency from any other foreign source. Now the history of the 4th of July shows that it is the Independence Day of the American white man. They wrote their Declaration of Independence for themselves. The white man did not put anything in the Declaration of Independence for the benefits of the black man, who was the servitude slaves of the white man at that time. The joy which the black slave experienced on these holidays of the white man was due to the black man getting rest from his labor, and a day which the white man has set aside for celebration. It's all the black slave was rejoicing over, that he did not have to work that day. But you are free now, and you do not need this for an excuse for you worship of the 4th of July. There is no further need for us to worship the ganging of the white man's independence. Let us take a look again at our own black independence and how it came on this same day of the 4th of July at the coming of Allah God. Came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, on July 4th, 1930. The coming to us on this Independence Day of the white man is very great. It is their day of rejoicing, as with former people and their governments. The destruction took place when it was at the heights of their rejoicing. The kings, according to the Bible history of him, we see in Daniel chapter 4, was walking around in his palace, proudly looking around and admiring the skills of the work he has set up. And it says, has not all this my hands has made? The Bible teaches us That while the word was in his mouth, we see this end came. Allah God changed his mind heart from that of a civilized man to a mind heart of a beast. He had the brain reaction of a wild beast. He was cast out among the dung. What does this signify? It gives us a gleaning into the history of this white man and his being cast out of society of the Muslims 6,000 years ago after he was made, and then started trouble amongst the people of righteousness. See, troublemaking caused this white man into this hill and cave size of West Asia, we see as Europe was called at that time. So Allah God taught me a name which changed it to Europe after the white man was cast into that area. See, Europe means a place where people are bound in to keep them out of society of the righteous. Moses made a white man as the independent race. Through the guidance of Allah, God gave Moses to guide the white man out of a savage cage life and put them on the road of conquest of the black man. For 400 years, we see this white man swallow us, the black man of America. He did not put us in a hole of the earth, but he swallowed us up by keeping anything like wisdom from coming to us. He set a bound against our own black people visiting us in order to prevent them from teaching us anything other than what this white man was teaching our black fathers. This caged us in and made just as secure a cage as the little cage of Europe that the Arab people put the white man in 6,000 years ago. The 4th of July is a day of rejoicing of this white man over his opponents. For the Western Hemisphere, he wrote his constitutions for his own white people and not for his black slave. Since this is his day which he has set aside for himself, and what part black brothers do you have in this day? The part is not mixed with his part in a way of his own white politics and physical independency. But as I call your attention to proud king history and what happened to him at the heights of his kingdom, Allah God never destroyed powerful people, nor deprived them of self-independency when they were in trouble or when they were sick with grief. He made them to feel happy. He made them think that they would live forever. So it was with the coming of Allah God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, on his coming to us on the 4th of July, we see 1930. His presidency meant the destruction of the independency of the American white race, and especially of America over the black man. Allah God visit the black slave, for he is more in need of help to enjoy freedom of self. Since Allah God came for the purpose of bringing self-independency to the black slave, then his going forth is with justice. The Bible, Revelation 19, verse 11. To show Allah God's greatness and power over their slave master and his people. Now, Allah God attacks them at the heights of their civilization and at the greatness of their power and strength on the 4th of July, while they worship the greatness of their accomplishments, and the black slave is sitting at his feet. As it was with the kings and as it was with Pharaoh, we see the same as being repeatedly today. This is Allah God coming from the 4th of July. For 400 years we have been suffering under servitude, slavery, and at the relentless hands of this white slave master over us. Allah God came to give justice and freedom to us and to make us equal members in society of a new, powerful, strong, and wise people of this earth. Ever since that day, the 4th of July, 1930, have meant the doom of American domination over the black man of America and the black people of this earth. Ever since that day, we see America have been formed. America's fall is now going on. It is no secret, brothers and sisters. America refused to break her fall when she could have broken her fall, as the Bible teaches us. Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. We see Jeremiah 51, verse 9. She did not want to do anything to want such forgiveness. America had been offered a chance for forgiveness, but she refused to accept it, for she never offered to do anything favorable towards a black slave that she had made false promises that will make them free of her powers to rule them. See, we see the black slave went to their death fighting the enemy of this white slave master to help America to maintain her independence against foreign dominances. The black slave was not given anything in exchange for his sacrifice. See, when a dog hunt for a hunter, the hunter master will sometimes share a part of the game with the dog. The black slave have helped his master to overcome and to put other people under control of his white slave masters. See, the black slave have fought and died around this earth to help this white slave master to conquer those whom the master called his enemy. See, we helped this white man to conquer Cuba and to overcome and subdue Mexico and the Philippine Islands and other places around the earth, and also Japan. Now, how many lives did this black man lose in the Pacific while helping this white man to conquer the people of Japan, who are the brown half brothers of the black man? See, the brown race and the yellow race are the half brothers of the black man, who independency. Now, this white man and the black man are both free on this day. See, the coming of Allah God on this day means the freedom of the black man too. See, the clear of Allah God coming on this day shows the great wisdom of Allah God. Everywhere this white man may be, even in Europe, the earth belongs to the black man. Let us rejoice on this 4th of July and the coming of Allah, who came in his person, the Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Give thanks to him. Let us enjoy the independence he has brought to us, the freedom, justice, and equality. He brought these things to us not by killing off the red Indians, nor any original. See, justice and righteousness are used by Allah God. See, independence means to be free of the dominancy of others. It's a very happy feeling for one to enjoy self-freedom. See, independence means to be free from the dominancy of others. See, the white man took this day of independence to celebrate the joy of others in 1776. See, they didn't write no constitution for you and I. See, when Martin Luther King, during the night of the filibusters, they denied black and brown voting rights. You see, they gotta pay. There's a price they gotta pay. They gotta pay a penalty. I don't feel sorry for these people. What God here to do, you should not feel sorry. That's because they making all these carrots, carrots mistakes, you guys. All these errors they've been making, you guys. Now they want us to fall right along with them. No, we not gonna fall. We not gonna fall along with you. So we see, when it comes to this independence, the white man and the Western took this day of July 4th, 1972, to be a day to worship and remembrance of the achieving independence from other people. See, the white race and the Western had to conquer the Indians, who had the independent claim on the country now called America. Then the white race and America cut off the ties of England and France and become the independent holders of the present country called America and the Western Hemisphere. The white race was not satisfied with owning a new country to itself. They wanted the country built up, but the white man was afraid to trust himself to build the country up. So he goes to other countries that was uncivilized and uncivilized Africa. From Africa, he took our black people as slaves and used us for hard labor purpose. Now we see this white race have achieved those desires, and now he had this glorious things that man can enjoy freedom. See, the country of America cannot be said to be the white man's home, but with having the freedom and the power to overcome the native Indians of this country, the white race in America takes the day of July 4th to celebrate the joy of independence of others. As thou hast done, so shall it be done to you. Someone's about to take away your joyful independence. So the white race here in America have done the worst of the black people, who have helped this white man to build up the country of America, to make it suitable, and to bring this joyful independence. And the stupidest thing we can do is to integrate with our enemies. See, we are in love with this enemy, but the enemy, he's not in love with you, but you're in love with this enemy. You want to marry this enemy. Some of you will be like, no, God, I cannot go with you unless I bring white folks with me. Yes, this is you. Some of you say to hell with you. God know that there's some good white people. Then you start searching and trying to say white folks is good. See, you remind me of Abraham. See, when Abraham went to the angels and told the angels, are you going to destroy the righteous with the wicked? He said, well, go see, can you find 50? We find 50. See, I would not spare the city. You know, Abraham went back, he couldn't find 50. Then he said, well, go see if you can bring me 40. And I'll not spare the city. Abraham couldn't even bring 40. Then he said, well, go see, can you bring 30? Then he said, well, go see, can you bring me one outside of Lot's and his families? If you can bring me one, I'll spare the city. You see, God delays judgment so that the people that he has judged are not worthy of what they about to get. Now, these little TV shows, they'll offer you. See, America will offer you a 24-hour TV shows. See, a TV show that you have and you talking 7 days out the week, and he's asking you about your personal self, your sexual desires. You see, if it's not his plan to get you to go along with them. But the white race we see in America, you know, had anger God today. See, due to the evil done to us after this 400 years, here under the white race, we keep it real. Most people don't like us talking like this. They want to try to shadow ban you. I don't get paid talking like this. See, you got to declare yourself being a real Muslim, and see how much this devil will give you. You know, he'll give it to you if you preach that we are not devils. And that's the same. If you preach that we're not devils, I give you my kingdom. You see, the right race today still desire to mistreat and kill us all day long. The white man hates his black slave, while the black slave should be hating this white man for mistreating his black slave. See, they don't think nothing of it, man. See, our young culture, especially the entertainment, black culture, hip hop, they don't think nothing of it. They don't. It's all about status today. They spin us up as a playing toy and play with us. See, we are nothing but a tool, an object to its occurrence. You see, hip hop culture is dead. You should see how they dressing and making fools of our culture. Prove to me if I'm lying to you. Because most of them, this, you know what I mean? There's every second when you are, making that, what I mean, four figures. Every second of the way, it's time that he pays up. It's time that a ritual had to be done. Look what they did with Baby now. They kind of smushed him like an oil cookie. They made an oil cookie just for him. They're making us into a homosexual. Not a gangster. You want to live that gang life? Okay, this is what we do. We put in indictments. We put in RICO indictments. See, there's only two ways, man, that we see our young culture: death, imprisonment. A lot of these people are advancing because look, man, they don't want to see when you got this status, you don't want to let that go. All of them, are continue to hold on to status. Look, this. Look what they doing. Look, I want you guys to look at the trend. Look what's going on with Boosie. I've been trying to tell you, they're trying to put us up, man. Why you think they got all these jails, jailhouse? I look around every second, man. Black man going to jail. This black man killed. See, if I would say the white man hates his black slaves. See, while the black slave should be hating this white man from all the trouble he put the black man through, for mistreating the black slave. But see, the white man makes this black slave to love him so well that when the white man mistreat him, the black slave would not dislike this white man for mistreating him. See, now the time of God has arrived. The time that God must separate the black slave and the white slave master and bring freedom to this black slave. So we see the power of our enemies being broken by God and destroying the powers of this white man's powers to maintain his reign over the whole world. See, independency is fine if we can keep and maintain independency. But there's a dark cloud of trouble now springing over this country of America. The dark cloud makes so one's freedom of thought, action, to become instead a freedom of death, hell, and destruction. See, it's awful to think over the things of evil and the trouble that are now coming upon the glorified North America. The poor black slave numbers into tens of millions of black people never knew anything of the joy of freedom because of this victorious enemy, like a young lion, as Daniel gives it in the Bible had made this black slave a prey to all of the white man's wicked desires. Now, what do we have to celebrate in the fact that this white man is enjoying freedom over us and celebrate this white man's independence? We make a fool out of ourselves. We cannot celebrate his day. Only time that we, the black people, have a day to worship and able to call a day our day of freedom is when we are free from white America and free from any other nation and become independency with some of this earth that we can call home. Then we can say that this is a freedom day and holiday for us. Black sisters and black brothers, let us unite and get together and try and go from that what binds us to others. Now, the white man trigonometry is always being trumpeted to the world. See, Trump is the trumpet card. See, the white man and his trigonometry is always being trumpeted today to the world. That they are peace lovers, as though they want all the world to be at peace today. As they falsely claim to be free and to live in peace, while they are sitting on and crushing between 20 and 30 million black people in America, who is they servitude slave 100 years ago. Now, for 100 years, we see the slave master children falsely claim that we are free and that they are trying to treat us as free people today. It have come to me that in the states of Alabama, in the country of Alabama, you see there are big plantations owned by white people. And a stately White House set up on hills, and the slaves live in the surrounding stocks. See, I don't feel sorry for these people that they stole this land. They took our DNA, raped our women, raped our men. I don't feel sorry for these people. What God came here to do, I do not feel sorry. There's a lot of our people that want to feel sorry for these people. You know, God at His mercy, He been a merciful God, and He have not shown no signs of letting up. We serve a wonderful counselor, a wonderful God. Let's make no mistakes. But just think how many times these people been warned. How many times they broke a basic principle. How many times? That they put you into infliction. How many times they came and gave you hope but ain't promised you a future. We are tired of living amongst these people, man. They gotta be accountable. They gotta be held accountable for their actions. And we serve a God of righteousness, a God of freedom and justice and equality. See, our God is a very active God, sharper than any two-edged double sword. So these black people we see today have worked hard for very small pay. It is said by some that we see that the salary range from 25 cents a day to $2.50 a week. Rough clothes to work in are furnished to them. See, this is the plantation days. See, we haven't known no one. We haven't been introduced to no one but a right race of people. They should be ashamed of how they can continue to dictate, to use their dictatorship over us. But the time has come that God is going to make these people be held. He's going to make you submit. Now, even though we see this kind of slavery goes on today, throughout all generations. See, one generation after another is subject to this slave way of life and what is called a free world. In order to keep these black people in this type of slavery, the owner had mounted a guard patrolling the plantation with a gun lying across his lap and a saddle on his horse to see that there is no black interference on the outside to entice the enslaved black on the inside of his plantation to come in a better area for better wages. These black people grow up there and they die there on the plantation. Some of them never knew civilization. They are satisfied because they know no other life but the slave life that the fathers and grandfathers have been living under now. We hear this kind of slavery goes on not only in the country of Alabama, but in other states such as Mississippi and Georgia. A year ago, when I was a young man in Georgia, I heard that such slavery on large plantation was going on in certain areas in Georgia. People would go to the farm there, and a poor man probably owns another white farmer, and his white farmer pays the debit that he owns the other white farmer, and then the black man becomes the slave, the balance of his and his family life on the plantation. This white man who pays the debit to a previous white plantation owner. As long as he lives, he never pays that debit. This is the worst injustice and the most cruel slavery of all. They are shot and killed or beaten to death, and they are found trying to leave the plantation. Now, let me talk about these lynching days, when our people was lynched. Instead of investigating, going out and seeking these murders. See, the murders used to live right next door, up the street, up the alleys. And there's dead bodies being discovered. But the murders was never brought in, and even if they brought in their own native court, when they go in their own native courts, the judge will actually look at the lynchers today with a big smile on his face, and that smile is telling him, because we keep it real. But now, you are to kill all of them. All my life I used to hear, right in the South, that there was too many Negroes. And they need to kill them. Right in the South. People hung up in a billboard, shot down the streets, bodies thrown in the wooden areas. See, they used to sacrifice our children. See, this is what Moloch did. See, these people used to be hunters, man. When they came out of Europe, they was hunters. See, Europe was a place where they was bound in. When Moses led them out of their wild, savage cage life and put them on the road of conquest. See, the white man and his savage cage life, their fathers used to have long, straggly hairs. They used to have the tails in the back. Let me see you wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yeah, they used to have the duck tails. Yeah, let me see you wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, they used to be described well as the caveman. See, our people today, through the slavery plantation days, see, they are shot, killed, beaten to death if they are found trying to leave the plantation. So the white owners make other blacks of the same plantation under fear of being informers of what is said and planned by the blacks. It had been told to me in my younger life that Satane rivers, lakes, and Werder wilderness, like place carrying the bones and the skull of many black slaves from these plantations and so-called freedom times in the age of the bottomless slavery by the laws of this government and the world. But in these southern states, we see where Miss George Wallace was running for president. He could make every black man and woman in the South vote for him under fear. These black people are afraid to disobey white people in high office. And even old white farmer who is hardly able to buy himself a new overall suit. So the black people in the South have been brought for many years and for centuries to fear white people, where there is no freedom or chance to get out among free people. The black will become the most ignorant and the most terrified people of whites that there are in the country of America. And the white man knows this. He gets rich, he builds himself a fine luxurious home on the plantation. And as far as he can see, he claims that the land is his. And the poor slaves are living in the worst stocks. And when the rain comes, some of them have to go through the walls of their house with piles to catch the rain, coming through their almost open roofs. See, when winter comes, they are setting up to their fireplaces, trying to keep warm. See, these are the worst living conditions of human beings that can even be in the jungle of Africa, where they do not have sawmills or bricks to saw timbers into lumber and to mold bricks. You see, America has everything necessary to make her slave a good warm home. We see cold home and to give her slave a good living wages because of our fathers for 400 years have already supplied the wealth for us today to be given good substantial wages for our necessary life. It is pitiful to go into these southern areas out in these ritual districts and see how after 400 years we see the wicked sunburnt, killed-nosed, tobacco-juice mouth, blue-eyed devils are plunking our people down to such slavery conditions, crushing them to death and diseasing them. Children are coming up today suffering from malnutrition. Fevers and other disease capture them and take them to their pine box grave or to the hole in the ground. And the South without anything like honor or their death. They are buried in rough pine wooden boxes. The black man of America is so mistreated by their 400-year-old slave master and the slave master children that you just cannot describe any mistreatment of human beings. They equal the evil and ill treatment that the black man has and still suffer in America. And see, this is why white people are suffering. I don't see, look, the Lord said, revenge is mine. I'm going to repay. I don't feel sorry. See what's going on in Wisconsin. You know what I mean? Chicago, these floods. These are not once in a lifetime floods. I want to say this to you. These are not once in a lifetime floods. It's going to get worse. Things is not going to get better. They get a dose of their own medicine. See, they don't think for a second that God don't have real physical eyes and ears. They don't think that he's, you know what I mean, he's not watching. He's coming into the neck of your woods. He's coming where most of you may live. So it don't surprise me to see these people are under a flood. And these people are so furious because look, with the help of FEMA, they're not getting the help. These insurance companies, see, people losing their house that's worth $200,000. And these insurance companies are just giving them $15,000, $20,000. You see, that's not even enough. But it's like, oh, we're gonna have to make this enough. So look, they get a dose from a new home and to have to settle. You see, when you understand that they don't have nothing around them, no pot to piss in, no window to throw out of. When you understand, you know, that, you know, God can remember their sins because their sins have heaped all into the heavens. You see. So we have witnessed that in many towns and the cities we see in the southern states we see today. And even in their capitals, we see in DC, we see the encampment, homelessness. You can see today. You'll find the black people living in very bad conditions now. You know, his toilet is sometimes an open boarded up place stinking. Right there in the cities, diseasing the citizens because we see that evil demon. The white man who wants to give all the ill he can to a people who has served him as slaves for 400 years now. Now this is going on in the South. So you can go see it for yourself. I want to say the U.S. Mall will come into these towns and cities. In some places we see black people are forced to walk to a drugstore and ask a white drugstore owner for their mail. You should see how they are treated, because they are treated like dogs, as though the white devil are giving him something free, while the sinners of the mail have paid the tax for the postal carriers to bring it to their doors. See, little black children are walking around with sore pus, running out of them for this lack of medical attention. Little black children are dying of diseases, right? And it's false freedom of this USA. They are dying of diseases, you guys. HIV has went up. And they pushing it, they pushing this in black communities, you guys. They will say 4% of white women is infected, but they will put a high percentage on black women. Let it make sense, you guys. You see, he's diseasing us right here in his false freedom of this USA. You see, the black people are carried down by this victorious enemy who keeps his gun loaded now to blow them down. And every happy, one-sided, grounded mouth policeman or sheriff is seeking just the slightest chance to kill a Negro. He only have to say to his brother devil judge that he has to kill a Negro. And the judge look at him and give him a big smile and a hand clap as though he did not kill enough. He ought to kill all of them. I have heard from their mouth when I lived in the South that there was too many Negroes in the South, and the white people should kill all some of them. There are more Negro than whites, and a white man should kill all some of these Negroes. What chance does this black man have under the shadow of American governments for freedom, justice, and equality? I thank Allah and the person Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who has come to deliver this black man in America and to kill our oppressors. This is very good, and we should be shouting day and night that deliverer has come. The revelation of the Bible had given these people the right name, a beast. And the most victorious description does this revelation gives in Daniel and the Bible. These people were described as a beast now, rising up out of the sea with 3 ribs of a man in his mouth. This is the description of America with the black slave struggle for 3 centuries and the power of our enemies, the devils. The black man in the South will be a fool to vote for any white man in the South to rule him. He should stay away from the poll because this white man for whom he vote is an enemy of his, and he is bound to tighten the shackles tighter than ever. See, they preach or enforcing law, and that law is unjust law directed against this black man. See, vote for Allah, God, and for his servants, Elijah Muhammad, and by the power of Allah, God, have come, and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. All of the prophecies of the Bible of what he will do in freeing the black man of America will be fulfilled. You know, poor white man, learn to tell your people to repent before a great time comes. So I don't feel sorry for your people. You see, because you have murdered the innocent ones who was not opposing you. You see, you have murdered the innocent ones who was not opposing you, who did not do nothing to you. You cowards. You have to pay the penalty. We don't feel sorry. Stop feeling sorry for these people because they don't feel sorry for you. They haven't feel sorry when they did all this, massive shootings. Did you know when they had that Buffalo shooting that those white cops, you had these white sorry cops laughing at those people that was killed, half those elderly people that was killed in that Buffalo shooting. We don't remember. We're not going to forget. We're going to remember everything. Everything. We're going to make sure we're going to bring it out to the people. We're going to hold your people accountable. Stop feeling sorry for these people because they don't have, they ain't going to have no more room to point fingers because they're going to point the fingers at themselves at the end of the day. Stop feeling sorry for these people. A time is here. A time is gradually approaching We ain't feeling sorry. We know the time. Since they know the time, since they knew the time, why you think that their own people suffering? You see, they can't get those grants from the insurance company. They can't get the money that they've been asking for. Come on, man. The tables is turning, man. The tables is now turning now. See, let us submit to him now and live in peace with money and good homes and with the friendship of God and the righteous. There is nothing that you have to fear today but God himself. It is useless for us to fear our enemies after the coming and presence of our God, who have power over the very atom of life. For it's fear of the white man that will cause our people to eat the fire of hell with the white man if they do not recognize the fact that it's God whom they should fear and not this devil. See, fear and disbelief what kept us back all our life. Because the fear of the devil, because our people still want to go out their way to please him every second away. When he did all the trouble he can against you, we still want to give him a chance for us to just go on and please him. I mean, we did all we can. We did all we can now. You know? We vote for a white ruler, and look, we get the same result. We get kicked. You know, we get laughed at. Our people humiliated. Come on. See, the world of this white man is now crumbling and coming to an end. The safety of the black man is his God. As the Holy Quran teach us in this day and time, seek refuge in Allah, the God of the black man. He is the only place of refuge now. We only have God. See, the white man can't give you a future here. So it's time for us to seek refuge in him. See, we have made America one of the richest, strongest people on earth. Her mighty navies is command the high seas, with her undersea craft crawling on the bottom of the ocean, carrying deadly weapons to surface and pour out on towns and cities other than America, and with listening devices set up throughout the earth, on land and sea, in the air, and to listen to see what people are saying about her and planning against her, knowing today she is guilty and deserving death, and that she should be taken and destroyed. She has prepared to put up a mighty battle, but Allah too has prepared, and He is the best preparer, knowing their thoughts before they was ever made. They have not the slightest chance today against the power of Allah that is working against them, even through the force of nature. Should the right race have been disgraced the entire black nation of the earth? See, Africa is suffering under the same wicked power of the right race and having an awful time of trying to rid herself of such a demon. She will do so, and soon. Here in America, Almighty Allah God wants to make himself known with both the punishment and destruction of this mighty, powerful, and rich people. Fear not. my dear black people. For we have Allah with us. He is a mighty and is strong and the most powerful one to be feared. Come follow me, and I'll lead you to your starvation. According to the article, we see in this November 25th, we see in 1969 issue of the Wall Street Journal written by Mr. Neil Maxwell, staff reporter. According to reports of our own farmers, we see the Muslim property and life are being attacked by devil Miss James H. Bishop, called himself a missionary. He has started attacking us for a fight. See, the Muslims have lost a couple of heads of cattle by gunshots penetrated by some coward, according to reports from Mr. Neil Maxwell. See, this demon, Miss James H. Bishop, seeks to bring himself and American people into a war with Allah God and the righteous, which will be the end of America and her people. We the Muslims are a people of peace and have and are proving ourselves to be just that all over America. And of course, this demon, Miss James H. Bishop, proved himself to be just what he is made to be, a mischief maker. As Allah God became the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, has taught me that he is. I have warned the troublemaker that he is playing with fire, and a very hot fire, for he is not attacking Elijah Muhammad and his followers, but he is attacking Allah God, who welcomes the attack. But this is what he came for. As sure as Allah God live, we will convert every black man in America to his or her own, and this includes those in Alabama. Look at the Muslim condition in Alabama. We went there to buy a piece of land from a citizen in Alabama, and then some white enemy appears who called himself a preacher of the gospel of Jesus, but he did not forget to preach the gospel of the devil along with it. Look, America politics shows you division. That's why they have politics. You see, America don't believe, in unity. Otherwise, why do we got politics? You see, that's why do we have politics? You see, because neither party seeks the presidency of saving life of American people. See, the die has always been set against us. Because we see, no matter, you see Republicans, Democrats, the die will always be set against a people that has served you for 400 years. See, it's been 8,000 years the devil been on this planet. You see, there's one war after another. So you can't live with them in peace because peace was never in the nature of the white race. You see, we don't feel sorry for you. Our people are tired. And all we waiting is a new world to come in. They are so fierce, man. I see it. I see it in their eyes. I see it through all my black YouTubers. I see the fierce. I see the struggle. And see, the tables is turning now. See, at one point you was eating your cake and ice cream. But you can't eat your cake and ice cream. You can't have your cake and ice cream. You can't have it the way that you've been having it. The tables is now turning. Now, Let's go. See, look at the Muslim today condition in Alabama. See, we went there to buy a piece of land from a citizen of Alabama. And then some white enemy appears who call himself a preacher of the gospel of Jesus. But he did not forget to preach this gospel of the devil along with it. This devil, Mr. Bishop, we hired him when we first went to the farm in Alabama. He worked for us on the farm, digging holes to help us to get set up on the farm. At that time, he said nothing to us in the way of charging us with being there illegally. Why did he hire out to us? Why did he help us to get started on our farm? See, we hired him and paid him for his work. There was no talk from him in a matter in which he is talking now. So this man has now turned to be a real open enemy and not a secret enemy. He even goes so far now to even talk of killing us and asking us for a fight. We are losing cattle from bullet wounds, and he's speaking in direction. He even destroying our property and cattle. Even make it hard for us to buy gasoline, and the most ignorant and worst thing is that the gas attendants sell us the gasoline, and then we are arrested, charged with a crime for buying the gasoline instead of charging the man who sold it to us. It is very ignorant and silly. We have brought lands in cattle in Alabama. We meant to get the profit out of Alabama. And the government of Alabama tends to drive us out from our property. They'll have to buy us out, not to drive us out. He says Trump is single-handedly saving America. Are you hearing this? I want you guys to hear what this man put. Don't leave. Don't leave. It was about 4 or 5 you guys that's left. Don't leave. Because we want you to understand that Trump is going to be held accountable. Hell, he's pointing the finger on Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden, we got so much immigration here. We got these migrants and immigration, and we got this war that's been escalating here. But now this is your war. Now that you're president of the United States, this makes it your war. See, because Sleepy Joe Biden can't handle it. And the people, they are going to put their hope into a billionaire. And see, they don't have no solution. No solution for you. But you saying Trump will save America? I want you guys to understand what people put on the comment section. This man said Trump is single-handedly saving America. Nothing going to save America when you see one storm after another. You guys ain't seen nothing yet. You see, hurricane season ain't even really active this yet. So you just getting a little bit. Because Storm Aaron is making its way. And they ain't never seen how Aaron is gaining the intensity. You see, I want to say this to you. The white man, they no longer have power to subdue you know, the sea, the air, the water. I know you guys think that, yeah, this is, you know, white man controlling global warming and rather, they no longer, have the power and dominion, you see. Whenever Pharaoh was given domain and power, his power was stripped. They can no longer subdue the earth anymore. See, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness of it. And if you don't like you govern the earth, he's just going to move you off the earth, as he's doing today with these divine plagues, storms, you see. So now, on to this. If the government of Alabama is in agreement with the white people of Alabama and what they are doing against us Muslims, then I want to say to the whole white America that we have allowed God on our side to retaliate against anyone who will mistreat us. See, we did not go down there with rifles and guns to shoot anyone. See, we are Muslims and the brother of Muslims. If we are not accepted by our brother Muslims, we must certainly have been accepted by the God of Islam, Allah, whose proper name is Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who came to us without observation, as it is written of him. However, he makes his work manifest. The Nation of Islam idea, again, is to build a better country home for the black people. Okay, I say to the whole white American people that you can never win against anyone outside of America or inside of America, as long as you seek to mistreat us, as it is written in his Bible. He who contained with us, Allah, God, will contain with him and give them their blood to drink like sweet wine. So remember, we are the people of Allah, God. We made no trouble for anyone. But Allah, God, retaliate against anyone who made trouble for us, who seeks to do us harm. The decline of the dollar. Now, the strongest hold we see of America and the government is falling to pieces, we see. She has lost amongst the nations of the earth. And one of the greatest power of America was the dollar, we see. The loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness. For this is the meter of exchange between the nations. The English pound and the American dollar have been the power and the backing lights of these two great powers. But when the war went off, we see the gold and silver standards, the financial doom of England and America was sealed. The pound had lost 50% of its value. American dollar had lost everything now as power backing from our currency, which was once backed by gold, from every $5 note up. And all of our currency was backed by silver from a dollar note up. But today, the currency of America is not backed by any sound value, silver or gold. The notes today is something that the government declared that they will give you the value in return, but does not name what that value is. But they definitely are not backing their currency with silver or gold. This is the number one fall. It is very clear that the loss of the power of American dollar means the loss of the financial power of America. What will happen since there is no sound backing from our nose? We do not know. What should we expect even in the next 12 months on this fall of the power of American dollar? This means that we have 100% inflations. What could happen under 100% inflations? See, your guess is as good as mine. The power of gold, silver was once founded in America, but the touch of the finger of God against the power of so mighty a nation have now caused the crumbling and fall of America. We can easily and truthfully liken this fall of America to the prophet picture given in the Bible. We see Revelation, John 18 verse 2, we see the name Babylon used there does not really says whether it is ancient Babylon or a picture of some future Babylon. The description it gives as follows, we see. He, the angel, cried mightily with a strong voice, with authority, saying, Babylon, America the Great, is fallen, to become the habitation of devils. Allah had declared the people to be a race of devils, and a whole every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. The description here gives to the Babylon by the prophet compared with the present history and people of America and their fall. The picture shows the cause of her fall. We see number one, she had become the habitation of devils. And being the habitation of devils make her a haven for every people that love the work and doing of the devil. Here the prophet refers to them as being a whole every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. People referred to as birds, snakes, beasts, fish, and other animals to tell represent the characteristics of that person. It is universally known that the very beginning of American people was from the lower class of European people, and their first ruler, President Washington, was a fugitive from England, and a common dissatisfied and lower grades of European people followed and boasted his authority. This filled and inhabited America with a very low class and low base people. And then this type of people went into Africa and purchased slaves from amongst our people, who were also uneducated, most of them. But there was a few who was highly educated. And all of these began to mix with low base, evil minded, will citizens of the Western whites. And when America began to get strong and power, she opened her doors to the unprivileged laborers in overpopulated countries such as China, Japan, and Europe to seek citizenship in America. This brought into America one of the most mixed people who was granted the freedom to live any kind of life they choose. It was not forced to serve the God of the universe who made heaven and earth, nor any religion. They have freedom of worship. This make America a haven for any people who wished it to be free of the competitors of religious and just rule and authorities. This people for the past 500 years have put into practice every evil that is imaginable. The freedom of uncleanness is granted, and is worship. The percentage of sexual worship of the same sex is greater than any government on the face of the earth. See, little children are being taught sex almost from the cradle, making the whole nation, as one man put it, nearly 90% freak of nature. It is coming to see on the streets of any metropolitan city of America, man sweethearting with man and woman sweethearting with woman. We see little boys with boys and little girls with girls. It is coming that a decent family is puzzled as to where to send their children for schooling. See, there are no all-girls schools as they once were. See, there are all-girls schools of sweethearts, the same sex falling upon their own. Boy, college are breathing such filthy practice. Jailhouse, prisons, federal penitentiary, all breathing dozens of homosexuals. As the prophet says in the 18th chapter, she is a cage to every unclean and hateful bird. There are types of hateful birds. See, this is why a name is given. It means human beings. There are birds of prey and birds that are unclean, such as crow, owls, ravens, who live and thrive off the carcass of others. There are unclean people living and thriving off the unclean. It is time that God intervenes, bringing about the end of such people as the wicked of America. She offered the same filth to all of the civilized of the earth. She hates you if you are against her way of life and will threaten you with death as the Sodomites did Lot and his followers. I said to you, as the fourth verse of this Revelation 18 says, you that want to be a better people than this, come out of her. The so-called American Negro are referred to here in the fourth verse as being God's people. My people, come out of her, that you be not partaker of her sins, and that you receive not of her pledge. This is a call to the American so-called Negro to give up a doomed, wicked people that have destroyed them from being a people worthy of recognition, and who have now become lovers of the enemies and destroyers. The fifth verse tells us there are sins that reach into heaven, and God has remembered her iniquity and is ready to destroy her. Her destruction comes quickly. According to the 8th verse, that pledge of death, mourning, famines would come in one day, 1 year, then after that she should be destroyed by fire, burned. This is backed up in these words. We see strong is the Lord God who judges her. Here it gives us a knowledge that he who judges is well able with power, with wisdom, to make judgment against her. We see the pledge of Allah God against this American educational system is something that the philosophers, scientists should look into, as the destruction of American education is the destruction of the wisdom to educate the people. There are many who look on destruction without taking a second thought. A destruction of American education. Education is a guide for the people to keep and maintain a civilized life. It is education that civilized us. Now to see the citizens of America rebelling against the American educational system is something that the rise otherwise should take thought of. The American people actually have come to a point where they hate their own educational system. This means that they are now hating and destroying their civilization, because it is education that civilized people. The American people no longer want the education, and they are destroying the very houses that house their textbooks of education. They are rebelling against their teachers who teach education. They are fighting their teachers, and then they set their house on fire. We see schools, colleges, and universities. This means in words, as I have said above, that they are destroying their own civilization. The black people today who are blindly helping this white people to destroy this civilization are like Samson was in his day and time. He helped to pull the buildings down, but he was blind to the fact of destruction of the building. We see all Samson wanted to do was to get even with his mockers, who had put out his eyes, who laughed at him. Samson did not care whether there be a civilization left behind him or not. He was willing to die blind to the knowledge of the future of his people. And those people he was destroying. Throughout America, her colleges, her universities, Our teachers are in danger. The students no longer want an old world guidance. It's a new world that they want. But in the mad destruction of the old world, they do not know how to prepare for a new world civilization. They do not have guidance for a new civilization. In their madness, they refuse to hear a teacher teaching of an educational system of a better civilization. Civilization of the black man. The wisdom of the educational system of the black man of the earth have never been known to this world. Because of the black man was put to sleep in order to let this world, white man, try itself at ruling. Now the rule of this world have been found to be dissatisfying. And the dissatisfaction is 100%. Allah God has come to take over and to guide another people and to setting up a better education system for the people of whom himself is the head. We all get guidance from him, as Daniel said in his prophecy. God will set up a kingdom, and he will not lead it into the hands of others, but he himself will guide it. But first, he must remove all this rubbish of this white man world educational system. He discard American educational system, as we discard rubbish to be burnt up. The black man who hears the teaching of Islam feel proud that he had been taught something that he had wished for all his life, but the average black man that hears does not accept it as he should. He accepts it in such a way that he can be criticized and mocked, for he wants to take a piece of it, as he had done in the past. He ran away with it, claiming that he knows this. He tried to set up something of his own from a few words of it, to throw the black man behind. They do this through envy, jealousy, and proudness on the parts of the person. This is the way the black man of America is divided. The devil knows that the black man is proud and envious. The white man helps them to be this way, but that the black man will never get any place towards self. If the black man takes such steps to divide himself up, look how the devil is teaching our people division now. The devil goes to get in everyone who he thinks for this black people to allies them. Look how he named streets after Reverend Martin King and Malcolm because he was the devil's disciple. See, Reverend Martin King was not the disciple of the black man. He preached this integration with white people and become white folks. And then the white man killed him. White man does the same to you, whether you follow what the white man tells you to follow and you worship this white man. See, many times, my brothers and sisters, I have remind you that Reverend Martin King Jr. was not trying to separate you from an enemy, but instead he was trying to unite you with the enemy. Reverend Martin King was not seeking a home for you as Moses was seeking a home for Israel, who is opposed in Egypt. In the modern day America, I am seeking an independent home for you. See, Reverend Martin King did not do this. See, Reverend Martin King taught you to submit to this white man and to become one of them. All your life, you have known that this is destruction at the so-called freedom. It is the same as the dog returned to his vomit. The black man vomit out of the white man, and now he goes back to this white man. The white man is right when he said that you are free. You are free, but if you go back to him, for him to put the chain on you again, he would do so. Malcolm flew out from us as hypocrites. He went and joined white people and worshiped them, and he got what he preached for. Now the white man named colleges after Malcolm only to get you to join in the philosophy which he left behind. The white people are good. See, Malcolm went to Mecca and saw white people. Instead of joining in with the black man, he joined in with the white man. Although he was taught the white man birth and death. He preached it as long as he did not turn the enemy against me. And he turned the enemy against me. For he wanted my place over the people. And he thought that by going over there and making this mock of me, he would do just that to get rid of me. But the very people of Mecca and Egypt and other places he went, they are with me today. Here in the United States of America, today I have more followers than I had before Malcolm said a word. You cannot disgrace one whom Allah God has taken for his friend, for he has the power to keep your disgrace to nothing. The white man teach you to worship Malcolm in order to lead you astray against me. You come around trying to argue with us. See, I do not get 2 cents for you follow Malcolm. If you want to follow him, you will get divine death and destruction with no one to give you any honor and respect. Only the devil whom you serve. The devil set enemies and hypocrites for you to worship in order to pull you away from me. You know that you be a fool to follow the enemies and hypocrites, but that is to turn you away from your starvation, which I'm preaching. You cannot prosper fighting against me, for Allah God is not with you. He is with me. It does not matter how many devils you have with you. You can have a world full of devils, but that will not amount to anything. Show how anxious you are to get what the devil offers you for following his guidance. Allah God came to put an end to the enemy, the devil, and their powers to rule. This you will learn. I'm not without power from Allah God by any means, regardless to whether every one of you reject follow me. I mean the whole 30 million of you that will not stop me or condemn me as being not able to lead you. You black people in America are no more than a small family. We have a world of black people that I can continue to teach. And they are so anxious for me to come and teach them. After I teach you the truth, it is immaterial to me whether or not you believe and follow me. If all the little black organizations who are trying to do something for self will unite with me and make a complete body of one, we will most certainly have starvation on our hands at once. If we all want to be like Christianity, with each one set and enjoy his part, and one day they will lose their part. The destruction of white American educational system is the best thing that Allah God can do to get rid of that which you depend on for guidance. American educational system has never benefited you and me, only to keep us slave to the white man. You know, it's so sad that when we go and trying to be successful, especially getting our education. See, we have been a slave to this white man educational system, man. We haven't learned nothing. You know what I mean? They're not here to educate us. We got to be here to educate ourselves. Because the white man is not here to teach you. See, education is this for us to maintain, to be civilized. That's all. You know, that's all it was. You know, when we walk into the educational systems of the American white race, you know what I mean? They never was able to teach you. They're not here to teach us. They're not here to teach us today. See, we the black people want an educational system that will bring us into unity as a man before God. So we want an educational system that will bring us an opportunity. See, we want an educational system that we can read in the light of ancient and modern history. See, we want an educational system that will guide us to tomorrow. See, not an educational system that is dying today. See, what hope can you have in a world that is crushing and bursting as America is? Do you think that we will be here and that you will go back like you were before this war? I said, you wait and see. See, this is the end of white America. Allah God will destroy her, for she is the most evil one of the right race. America is more evil than you are. America is worse than her father England. Look at what's going on at this present time, day and night. Black men of America have no respect for you nor for your woman, yet you desire America's civilization. Still, you want to destroy it. Now, what do you want, my dear man? I think that you should first prepare to replace that which you are destroying. I advise you to unite with me. Let us build a nation like a single house. A united force always better than a divided one. I said, unite with me, for I cannot unite with you, for you do not have anything for me to unite with you for. You have nothing but a chain carrying it around that any wise, civilized man can take and bind you with continually. You may be able to wreck the whole America, but you have nothing to replace it with. You see, revenge is mine, said the Lord. I will repay. Look how he is repaying white America with rain, snow, hail, earthquakes. These can destroy America at once. But he bring her destruction upon her gradually, as the Holy Quran teaches. Allah God bring the wicked into nothing, little by degree, for the wicked cannot perceive. Allah God came to give you better names that have a better meaning, a greater meaning, an eternal meaning. These names of Allah God will live forever, but the names of these white men will not live forever. Allah God offers you and me heaven at once, not heaven that you are dead. If we do not accept heaven, he can also put us in hell if we reject his help. Remember the destruction of America. Educational system means the doom of America. You are not left to wander aimlessly. Holy Quran plain teach you and me. Allah God will not lead you to wander aimlessly. Allah God has the aim and purpose to you and me. So come and follow me and learn the new education for the black man is not designed for you, the black man in America alone. It is for the black people all over the earth. Take it or leave it. See the great country of America and her great richness and great institutions and her great town, cities spread like a blanket over the surface of the western. But for tall buildings going upwards over 100 stories, the great architects, building engineers have become such experts at building the precise that makes their past history or 2,000 or 4,000 years ago looks like child's play. Her lands is shallow with rings. Her mighty plains which cover almost like a cloud. The great wonderful works of scientists on earth, in the air, and her great mighty fleets afloats on the high seas, on the surface and below the surface. Her great scientific mechanical communication systems, yet with all of this might of skills we see in engineering or building the country of America displays, practice the more savagery than any civilized countries on earth. And all of her educational institutions are not enough to make a man so intelligent and proud of his education and of being American citizens that he would not practice the same savagery today. There is no such thing as law and order. The law is disregarded as though it was just thrown in a jungle to be carried out by savage beasts. Murdering, killing, robbery, raping, and drug addictions are the only law and order that is respected. It had become such a country that the civilized man and intelligence and DC is afraid to walk the streets of these vast towns and the cities of America. He will be more secure in the jungle and around in the midst of wild beasts than to be walking the streets of these great cities in America at the night. Groups of robbers, murderers, killers, and dope addicts are pouring the streets at the night to exact their evil intention upon innocents. This is a mob established that the tendency and decent women should not dare venture out amongst. And if we see such women walk around, they are part of these savage people and have become dangerous. Even for the girl and woman to be standing alone in any unprotected place day or night. Rapists lurching around bus stations. Robbers, also thieves, are at such stations. And with such conditions existing in a so-called civilized country like America, this is the worst name that could be applied to her. Police, detective, we see FBI, Homeland Security are all here. But these daring savage acts we see are committed right before their eyes and ears. The dissatisfied. We are living in a time when we see the dissatisfaction is 100% throughout this world of man and mankind. Therefore, we are living amongst the dissatisfied person daily and night. No one is satisfied though they may be righteous. They are not satisfied because they are living amongst unrighteousness. So the whole entire world of the wicked and the righteous is upset due to this dissatisfaction. Now, 100% of us are not happy because the dissatisfied is gaining more every day, more because of the condition that they are putting us in. See, America is a country where evil is practiced, murder is practiced, robbery, adultery are the only laws we see are practiced and respected. 100% of us is dissatisfied. So we have the whole entire world of this wicked of the righteous is upset due to the dissatisfaction. The dissatisfied gain every day more and more amongst the people whom they had to bring to the same condition that they are in. Today, nothing is made so clear to the chief makers of the dissatisfaction. The black people in North America who are up from slavery are the targets of the slave master children who wish to keep them here and deprive of their starvation if possible. So the white man holds out these promises to this black man only to deceive this black man. The white man fascinates the black man and tries to do that for the black man that the white man does not want to do. But nevertheless, he does these things in order to get his hold on a black one slave. Go to the white man and doom with him. See, the devil is an open enemy of the original black people of this earth. We see this temptation today that the white man is trying to tempt this black man over all the earth to take part with this white man and this evil and filth here in America. If you can bear witness to me that sex is the topic conversation. We see 24 hours on the radio and television. The public broadcast to the people contains some of the most filthy talks we see and some of the most filthy action on the screen that we ever dream of hearing from a neighbor, even in private, not to think of in public. The black man in America is on the radio 24 hours a day. We see this white man loves the way these black people out and the filthy language of sex to see how many of our black people he can get to go to hell with the white man by portraying them with his sexual talk. The Holy Quran is 100% right. Read it and try. Find something in there that is not true. If you think that you have found something, come to me and I'll show you in a world that is the truth. Black man, this is the end of the rule of this white man. Allah God came to kill them for mistreating this black one slave here in America. Allah God said in Isaiah that he will kill our enemies and call us by another name. Black brothers, this is going on right in your eyes. But you still think that this time is prolonged to the distant future and that you will not live to see it. But I say to you all in truth that you are living in it now. The scientists of America knows that America is on her way out. And since you black men are the righteous, perhaps all of you will be saved, for you are bound to submit when you see what is coming. Allah God will take you and me and call us after his own name, as I have preached to you for years. As long as we go in these names of this white man, we are his people to serve him and go to his doom with him. See, the white man is stripping you of decent clothes to wear. See, many of you will come out and one, half new in the public. See, you will come out in the public one half new. He is making you shameless today. You are doing something that you will not be able to do. But it's in you, my brothers and sisters, that you are like to obey the devil and not obey Allah, the God of righteousness, truth, freedom, justice, and equality. It is so shameful for you to sit and let your voice be heard on the radio and the television, answer these filthy questions that this white man is asking concerning your own personal self in a way that you think. The white man is only trying to choose you to go to hell with him, that the white man knows that there is no heaven for him. There will be a remnant of them saved, but we see the majority are going down and they are taking a fighting chance of it and a way of deceiving you to go along with them. That is why both books, the Bible and Holy Quran, teach us not to let our deceive us. But the devil is doing it night and day. Why do you think he has these 24-hour talk shows talking amongst you and with you? If it's not to get you to agree with them, so you go along with them to their doom. Certainly they hate me and the Muslims who follow me. But their hatred does not make any difference with us, just as long as Allah God does not hate us. The hatred goes for nothing if Allah God is not hating us, as it is written. He whom Allah befriends is not disgraced. Allah God has always backed up his people who are the righteous and who believe in him from ancient time until this day. Fear not, lift up your heads in the pride of truth and love for you, black man, the God of the black man. The dissatisfied must be removed from the satisfied of Allah God and his people of the righteousness. The law found black people in America have the greatest gift coming to them of any people who live in the past. They will have a new growth put into them, and they will be chained in a trink of an iron. As it is written in the Bible and Holy Quran, this change will take place after Satan had been conquered it and had been cast out of the earth from amongst the black people to whom the white man is no kin. Confusion of people. Now the rise of America, one slave, into the knowledge of self and the spirit of Allah and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, the Son of Man, the author of the resurrection of us, the mentally dead, is causing untold confusion amongst the heads of states. The scriptures are being fulfilled wherein prophesies that in these days mean the end of the wicked world. See, Satan, rulers are against rulers, kings against kings. In the days of the prophet, there was no heads of governments who was given the name presidents. Rulers was referred to as rulers and as kings of the people. The prediction of the prophet wrote our future before we live is now coming to pass. Slave or foolish people, as they are referred to by Moses, are based on their slave masters. Today, as these prophecies are now being fulfilled, we are not surprised at the truth God gives to us through the mouth of his prophets coming to pass as it was prophesied. The master must give up his slaves, and the slave must give up his master, regardless of desire to remain with their master. It is the purpose of God himself to separate the two so that he can give the slave justice and equal chance for survival, as the slave master have been exercising power over their slaves. America is being torn to pieces politically, as Pharaoh's political party was in the day when Jehovah went after the freedom of Israel. Egypt was plagued with drought, great hail, storms, rain, and fire, according to the Psalms, running side by side, fire and water. These plagues now are visiting America from Almighty Allah, God. People who have no knowledge of the book and scriptures can make gray air in trying to continue with the old world of the black man and slavery, enslavement. There are many of our people, especially amongst yesterday leaderships, who desire to lead the shackled slave into more secure shackles for the sake of their masters, for the fear of the master's dislike of the leadership. This is found amongst the spiritual leaders more than amongst the political leaders of the black Americans, which make manifest to you that the spiritual leadership fear not the God of truth and justice, but fear the enemy of God. See, God is the author of freedom, justice, and equality, a man. We must have unity with the black nations of this earth, which you and I are members, and who are leaving in search of us. So now having the knowledge that we was bound and the slavery and the rest of our earth. We cannot come forth making a step of freedom towards a free people until the shackles have been cut to allow our steps to be made freely. It is written so plainly in the last book of the Bible that the fearful and unbelieving leaderships and their followers of the enemies, the beasts, and the scriptures does not try to hide giving the slave masters one of the worst names, as he is like a savage beast against the black man of America. And the war of people of God shall go down with the beast in this lake of fire. A unity with God who have already appeared amongst us, and the person of Master Falah Muhammad, whom praise or due forever, will sit us in heaven while we live on this earth, our natural home. America lost friendship. Now, the Bible says, as thou hast done, so shall be done to you. America has done the worst works of deceiving of the people, making false friendships with them. Now her turn has come, and no one wants to trust her for friendship, for she has deceived many nations. Now, Revelation 12, let's get into it. The Bible prophesies of America under these worst names that could be given to a human being. We see serpent, snake, Satan, devil, and arch deceivers. of the people of this earth. Therefore, we see black man's warned, we see in Revelation 18, verse 4, to come out of her, my people. This scripture warns the black man to give up Babylon, which is named mean America. The America has tormented the black man. Now the tormentor is after her. Divine tormentor says that we should not be partaking. A divine torment coming against America from Allah God, to whom praise are due forever. See, this means separation. See, we must separate ourselves from America so that we will be saved from the strokes of the Master, who is God Himself. Allah God is whooping America with all kind of disasters. I have been right for many years that America must be punished for her evil done to her black slave, who are so-called free slave now, who continue to suffer the same or worse punishment under the children of their white slave masters. Then their white fathers oppose upon our black fathers under servitude, slavery. America have not only lost, still losing friendships all over Asia and Africa, but she is now losing the friendships right here for next door neighbors. We see Central and South America. The matter of the ill treatment and dislike which they receive. The President Family Committee made it seem as though they should been on the other side of the earth. We see steps have to be taken to protect their physical self in a country which is right next door to America. However, the scriptures must be fulfilled. They shall eat America's bread and burn her body with fire. I quote from Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. The horns here are a reference to Central and South America, America's satellites. This means that American gifts and whatnot will be accepted, but this does not mean that America has brought a sincere friendship that would take all they give which America offers. But still, this does not mean that America has their hearts. America is careful not to get any help to our black one slave for 400 years to do something for themselves. America wants to keep her black slave tied while she watches their movement. If we go to her, ask America for a territory so that we can live to ourselves, she'll turn a deaf ear to us. We help America for 400 years in every respect as though we were one half owners of the country. See, we have got nothing in return but beating, cheating, shooting down on the streets and on the highways. If we think that there is a God of mercy, and there is one, should we not think that He will be with His black slave? That He will help the poor black slave to receive justice from his master? The black slave helped it to make America rich. Will Allah God be silent forever, being a God of righteousness and justice? Will He not take Himself the work of aiding the poor black people against these evil oppressors? America wants everyone to help her be more in awe of her setbacks. But when she causes others to fall, break up the country of the people, and destroy their independence and freedom, she laughed and prided herself as doing a great thing. She put her feet upon the colony's neck and destroyed their independence as a nation. All this now returned to America. The little nations are now awake. They have looked for true friendships from America, but instead America deceived them. Again, I repeat, the Bible prophesies, as thou hast done, so shall be done to you. There is no friend for America. Also, it is written in the Bible, in the days shall fall, none shall help you. Why? Because you, America, have been and are in aid of destruction and fall of other people. So who shall help you in your days of of your downfall. This is what Allah God wants to bring home to America through his prophets. The Holy Quran refers to America in this kind of prophecy. When her doom comes, there will come one disaster after another. As soon as she thinks she's getting over the sword made by a previous disaster, another one will attack her. America is undergoing all that is prophesied against her. It is nothing new. It is well known. We have been eating the bread of infliction and suffering these poison bites of our white slave masters. It has caused our actual death of our proper mental way of thinking. The natural brain of the black slave is poisoned, cannot think for itself. So Allah God is asking us to separate from white America. But the mentally dead do not want to go from her, for they have yet gotten knowledge of the truth of our God, Allah, and his mercy for them. The black slave children are victimized by the white slave master because of the condition the white slave master brought our black slave fathers up in. They do not really hear the right answer to their problem, regardless to how I cry and they mill us. They are poisoned, mentally dead. Now, this is a great question. America knows the evil against us, but to repent of it, I doubt it much. She feels that if she tries to make up with us for evil doing to us, she will be inviting her disgrace amongst the nations of earth. Her determination to try to keep the so-called Negro from believing in the true God Allah and the true religion of Islam, which is our starvation. See, they are using many tricks now to deceive the so-called Negro. The foolish so-called Negro are falling for them. False friendship is not able to stand up for long. The enemy is just not able to put over false friendship for long. You should be able to know them and their tricks as long as they have been putting them all over on you. According to the Holy Quran, Surah 60, friendly relation with enemy of Islam is forbidden. O you who believe, do not take my enemy and your enemy for friends when you offer them love. Why did nine would have come to you? Of the truth, driving out to apostle yourself because you believe in Allah, your Lord? And this kind of doing, the foolish so-called Negro will be trapped. There are even some weak Muslims who ignore this one. Some even go as far as to marry the enemy of Islam. And they even hate me for teaching the truth of the enemy. But Allah is with me and I have no rights about the doing of the people after knowledge. The enemy does not love neither you or me, as the next verse teach. If they find you, they will be your enemies. They will stretch forth towards you their hands, and a tongue evil, and desire that you may disbelieve. They will slay you with their hands and speak evil to you, and of you with their tongue. You must remember that you do not like one who befriend your enemies. How much does God dislike you for making love with his enemy? See, the enemy does not have to be a real devil. He can be your father, mother, brother, husband, wife, or children. We see many times they are your households. Today is the great time of the separation of the righteous Muslims and this wicked white race. The wicked are not by any means asleep to the knowledge of the time. They are really on the job of truth. You must know the truth, whether you accept it or reject it. Ask yourself these questions. Number one, if Christianity is the religion of Jesus, why is that the wicked white race represented instead of the righteous or holy people of the east of Islam? Number two, why has not the holy cities of Mecca allowed it to be taught within her? See, number three, Why is not Jerusalem the capital of Christianity instead of Rome, Italy? Number four, if Christianity was the religion of Jesus and the right race of Jesus' beloved people, why did he preach the doom of this right race and the coming of a new world? This people will most certainly carry their doom, many of our people, because our people fear and love with them. Look out of your doors or windows and see this black woman sitting in a car close in the arms of your and her enemy. The enemy does not love her. He only wants to disgrace her and you and keep her from seeing the hereafter. You cannot have any such freedom with his woman, especially not in front of his door. Love, goddamn, will get you. Hell. The trouble in America, we see no peace today. We see America trying to hold her place. We see it as the greatest power amongst the nation of earth. As one of the most troubled countries on earth today. The world had never before seen the top rulers of the land leaving their office to visit nation abroad. See, the purpose, my brothers and sisters, of these visits to foreign countries is to make peace with them after we've seen all the years of troubling them. America brought all her trouble upon herself. She's alone is to be charged with being the cause of the troubled world and people today. America loves meddling into other people's affairs. You just cannot stay out of other people's business, whether they be a 2 cent worth soapbox teachers or president and kings of countries. America action fits the description of the prophecy, the Bible. Beasts have eyes around and about. This refers to a mechanical listening devices, which America listen in on other people private affairs as well as a listening in on foreign governmental affairs. This also refers to a powerful telescopes. America goes aboard and make war against other people. Then she charged them with making war against her when she is the one who is guilty of war making. The Bible says Allah God will destroy those who delight themselves in making war. Now, whom to the bloody cities we see is all full of lies. We see the robbery, the prey depart not, the noise of a whoop, and the noise of the rattling of the wheel, and the prince of horses, and the jumping chariots. The American answer this prophecy of the ruin of ancient never. Never was full of lies and robbery. So is America, we see. The prey depart not. We see the poor so called Negro in America are depraved, and they refuse to depart from white America, regardless of the evil treatment they receive. Though the whoops and the clubs of the enemies are heard night and day upon the heads and backs of the prey, so called Negro, they still do not desire to depart from America. Ancient Nineveh, according to our history, we see was full of chariots that made much noise, and the prince of horse carrying the chariots in full speed, that the prophet described them as jumping chariots. So it is in America today, where cities are filled with automobiles, and the noise of them is heard every hour of the day, rattling past our doors. She is full of blood from murdering people. She also filled another prophecy to him that built a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. America was founded and built with blood and established by iniquity. She killed the inhabitants, Indians, to establish herself as the independent people at the great loss of lives of the original owners. A great progress had been made by the work of iniquity. She had robbed many people, and the blood of a slave, the so called, has stained the earth here and elsewhere, stained by her hand. The laws people kill their own leaders and assassinate the rulers. Anyone who opens his mouth for justice for the poor praise so-called nickel. His sides, we see, persecuted, in many cases slave, because he dare open his mouth for the oppressed, against their oppressors. Whom to America she hath established a government with blood. The murderer seeks to kill the innocents all day long, regardless of the people's choice or rulers. If chosen, he should be obeyed and given a chance to serve the people until that people dispose him for another. It is very evil, we see, very shameful and savage in these light days of education and scientists for America to be charged with killing her rulers and great men of wisdom and scientists without due process of laws. There is no justice for us, the so-called nickel, and a government whose citizens are free to kill until satisfied, and then turn upon the rulers and slay them. Now, what chance have we under the rule of such people? See, we live under the very shadow of death all day long. The assassination of Presidents Abraham Lincoln by John W. Booth in Washington, D.C., April 14, BC, 1865, who died 1865, was successful in freeing our parents from servitude slavery, to weaken the slave master's strength against the federal governments. For this he paid with his life. President James A. Garfield, we see, assassinated by Charles, we see, on July 2nd, 1881, in Washington, D.C., and died September 19, 1881. President William McKinley, shot September 6, 1901, in Buffalo, New York, by Leon, and died September 14, 1901. President John F. Kennedy, assassinated November 22nd, 1963, in Dallas, Texas, by the accused Sass Lee Harvey, died minutes later. All four of these presidents was known to have spoken and acted sympathetically towards the so-called nickel, and they paid with their life for doing so. There are others who are attempt made upon their life. Miss Huey P. Young, a U.S. Senator of Louisiana, was shot September 18, BC, 1935, by Dr. Carr, and died September 19, 1935. Miss Long preached, shared the wealth, and for this he paid with his life. There is no justice for the poor, so-called, in America, as long as they are subject under this American flag. A great attempt is now being made on the poor, lost found, so-called nickel, to deceive them by making false friendships and to pass the civil rights bills and forcing themselves to accept the lost found so-called nickel into their social equality. This is only a trap for us. To accept it will make us enemies of God and our black people of Africa and Asia, who are our true friends. It will be totally ignorant on our parts to be swept away to our doom by accepting these mouth-slown promises of social equality, a temptation. Our ignorant masses cannot be trusted under the charm of temptation, or unlike. But the end, you will regret your action. If America wants to offer us a better side of her, why not offer us something permanent good, such as a portion of the country, a few states, for our ever-increasing population? Will the white man fool himself continually, making promises to us that you know he can't fulfill? He have his own problems of unemployment with the ever-increasing unemployed of his own kind fleeing from Asia and Africa, plus the loss of foraging trades. Can we hope for him to care for us and our children forever? No, we need a place on this earth that we can call and go to work and produce our own needs. And this will provide us with unemployment for our unemployed. Let no man deceive you. We are face to face with a change of worlds. The title of this chapter we see is taken from the 13th chapter of the Holy Quran. We have the fall and rise of nations. We have past history that teach us of this fall and rise of nations. However, in this day, after this destruction of the nations, there will be no rise of these destroying nations, because Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise or due forever, will destroy those who cause evil to spread far and wide. He will destroy those who love to make war on others. As it is written, we see Psalm 68, verse 30. During the whole times of the mischief makers, the devil's 6,000 years on our planet, there have been one war right after another. There have never been any peace amongst them. You cannot live with them in peace. Peace was never in the nature of the right race. The right race was made to destroy the peaceful earth, and they had just about destroyed the peaceful earth. The Bible, Isaiah, as it is written, the people know not the way of peace. Why should peace lovers want a world to live in where there is no peace today? If peace can be established, the nation want peace. But they cannot have peace until the power of the peace breakers have been broken. America is angry over the possible freedom of a black one slave to go for himself to set up self-independency. America is angry. It does not want the black slave to seek some other nations to help him. There are other nations whose population runs into hundreds of millions of people. And these hundreds of millions of people, other nations have sympathy for the black man in America. They hope to help this black man in America to be free, to go for self, while white America is working with all from ICE in order to prevent the nation from getting any aid to the black man in America. If other nation gives black man America any aid, you see, white America wants to hinder us. A people who are that wicked against the black slave, whom they had for 400 years. Allah God should not have any compassion on destruction of them, nor should a nation of earth have compassion on white America, because white America is wicked beyond your and my imagination. White America turns the world into an evil field. You cannot go out into the streets accompanied by your decent families, of being ashamed of the work of this white man. See, he had made it lawful for people to go nude if they want to do so. It is a dangerous world for a person who loves to live in peace and desire to keep his own property as well as his life. It is a dangerous world. The rise of ancient Babylon with her persecution of the righteous amongst her, with her hatred of the Jews and their religion. Babylon was brought to nothing. Is America better than ancient Babylon? No, the people of Noah committed the same evil and the same unsightly filth that is going on here in America today. But the evil and filth of the present day of America we see is being committed on a larger scale than that committed in the days of Noah. The people of Noah was drowned and destroyed. So it was with the people of Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah wickedness and filth had become the orders of the day. Those wicked people was removed from our planet Earth. Is America any better? No, America is worse than that of ancient people. Why America see that we, the Islamic believers, the Muslims, want to do something for self and our black kind. But why America oppose us to a degree that she destroy our cattle, our farm instruments, and our machineries. Why America wants to destroy our life. Why America's planning to destroy our life. But Allah God to his planet. Allah God is the best of the planet. The fall and rise of nations. The fall and rise of nations. The quickest way from America to hasten or fall is to try and to mistreat, to do evil to me and to my followers. The quickest way from America to receive her approaching hour, doom is for America to always to try to find some way to block the success of Allah God and guide me and those who are following me. America, as long as white America learned that we are trying to purchase the wholesome quantities of low prices merchandise from Japan for the benefits of all my black people in America. America goes in to make it hard for me and my followers to purchase and to receive anything from outside of America at a lower price than we pay to America. See, this is evil on the parts of America. America will have to learn this. See, America will have to learn that we, the black people in America, are the brothers of the black people, the brown people, and the yellow people. We have many Muslims in these land and tried to interfere with the success of the Muslims in America, which is coming from Allah, God Himself. Allah, God will continue to confuse America, and she will have the loss of her victory in any man and amongst any people on earth, the fall and rise of nations. She had become the habitation of devils. See this Revelation 18, verse 2. This America, the glory of the world and wealth, sport and play with her merchant ships, ploughing the high seas, carrying her costly merchandise throughout the population of the nations of the earth. The Bible, Revelation 18, 19. The ships of America can be seen everywhere, in every part of the nation of earth. Her great navies is built to command the high seas. Her decks are mounted with great burst rifle barrel guns. The decks of her ships are covered with planes, which to carry deadly bombshells to pour on other nations who dare now to reject her interests into their water. The writer John foresaw America threatening and daring the nation to disobey her orders to allow her interests. American Navy planes fly high in the air with their deadly bombs held ready to drop on towns and cities of the nation who dares to attack her. Skies over America is shrouded with thousands of planes, yet the grievous destruction awaits America. America sent planes flying out of her country to shoot herself out into space by the means of the most modern rockets designed for space travels. At home, America country is as the prophet foresaw and prophesied of it. America is covered with planes and an army standing ready to stop inside rebellions. The prophet foresaw all of this readiness we see in preparation for the world showdown. The military might says, whom to the land shallow it rings. Isaiah 18, verse 1. America, take a look around the dead pieces of our earth, the moon. She wants to see if they can do her harm. America, take a look at Venus and Mars to see if there are signs of any gods on this planet who are capable of warring with her. America boasts of her ability to kill the civilization of Earth 3 times over and have an army left to attack anywhere else. An army may rise up against her. The kings, who was the world ruler of their day and time, make great boasts. See, Pharaoh also made great mock of Allah Jehovah and his power to attack Pharaoh. In the Holy Quran, Pharaoh said to Moses concerning Allah, the Lord of the world, Surah 20:49. Who is your Lord, O Moses? Pharaoh says to his slave. Moses in words to say, you take another God besides me. The Holy Quran, Surah 20:71. So I, Pharaoh, shall cut off your hands and feet on opposite sides. Israel took another God, Allah, Jehovah, besides Pharaoh. and they did not lose their hands and feet opposite sides. The people cried about death and destruction, playing the habit of America, but they never cried about the evil that they are committing today, and which is the cause of this destruction coming into our borders, bringing this flood, rain, ice, hail, earthquakes, fire, daily, nightly, somewhere on the surface of the land of America. The books refer to America by the name Babylon, and it teaches us. Revelation 18, verse 2. Babylon, we see the great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and a hole we see of every foul spirit, a cage of every unclean and hateful animals. This is true, for America have accepted immigrants we see of the most evil and lurid characters from Europe. America have filled her country with evil, and there is no good in the works of America. America hates the doers of good and seeks to destroy them. See, this is the cause of the fall of America. You can bear witness to these deadly storms we are witnessing and twisters that are striking America in an area where some of you live. Now, can you not see that Allah God is after you for the evil done to his people? Black man, the rich, the wealthy, and powerful rulers of America from their mayors of their cities. The police commissioner up to the president works to oppose the black one slave return to his home. And all this has their doom, as the Bible, Psalms chapter 2, verse 4, teach us. He that sits in heaven shall laugh, the Lord shall have them. Allah God laugh at their struggle to bring to nothing his aim and purpose of freedom, justice, and equality to his black people. Allah God has the heads of America in confusion and to the limit of there. Another place, the Bible teaches us that Allah would turn them backwards. Isaiah 45:25. Evil and filth are the God and worship of America. Never had the people on the face of this earth become so bold in their evil practice. Never before America have there been a nation on the face of the earth where scores of murders take place daily and nightly. In one metropolitan city we see America, the death rate is terrific. We see children kill children. We see males against males and females against females destroying each other. The women have no shyness. The American designers and manufacturers dress the woman up at one third of a dress we see and turn her out partly new before the public. You will not expect to witness this in a country that preach Christ Jesus and have church dotted here and there throughout the lands. You walk hardly 2 or 3 blocks in a city without walking to a door of a church. We see the Christian profess to be the most truly righteous people in their country. All night long, their voices are heard on the air preaching Jesus Christ, the prophet who lived 2,000 years ago. He is dead, cannot hear the prayers of anyone, not even his own. Christian preachers try to fool you by telling you that if you pray to the prophet Jesus, that he'll hear you. This is false. He cannot hear you. If that was true, why cannot they get him to hear them when they call for peace anywhere? Their doctrine is used to deceive this black man so that he would stay on his knees praying to something from which he would never get an answer. He would never get an answer from a dead prophet. Now, what kind of little girl can be respected from a mother who is walking around one half naked and is displaying herself to the world, dressed in such a dress that no animal will wear? There is more shyness and display in the animal than there is the so-called Christian American, dressed in a mini dress. The black woman should be too proud of herself to disgrace herself in the same manner as her white slave mistress, the black man should be sent to prison for being such a fool as to allow his wife and daughter to go out to show their new selves to the public. Nudity is originated from the right race. Now they want to say to the world that I'm the guide. The guide to what? The Holy Quran says that they lead you to nothing but filth and evil. The Bible is referring to the people of America when it is referring to the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. Allah God destroyed them when he saw that it was good to do so. Genesis 19:13, as it was with Sodom and Gomorrah, so would be with America. Now, according to the English interpretation, the word mystery means unknown, uncertain, obscure. Conceal a secret kept to oneself between you and me, locked up something that have not been or cannot be explained. And theologically, it is a supposed truth or fact of great religious import, which is beyond human comprehension. The time of the translations of the Bible into the English, some or all other scholars were neither without spiritual understanding or downright crime, sought to hide that truth in the book that they thought would reveal to the world their untrue self. The mystery of Babylon had not come into existence in ancient time under the kings, was the great city of idol worship and evil. She was the queen of evil, rich and well fortified. But this mystery Babylon must refer to a future city or people. No city or people answer description better than the cities and people of America. This mystery Babylon just could not be the ancient Babylon as we know of her history. You must remember that I'm interested in bringing this truth to my people as clear as sunshine. So be not disturbed in seeing and hearing it the clear and simple way, for my people are the blind, deaf, and dumb of the nation of the earth. It must be taught the truth by one who knows it. And I am he who knows the truth, and I have been missioned from the Lord of the world to tell the truth, whether to your liking or disliking. America and her future was not known in those days when the Bible was being translated into the English language. Not until 1611 did the translators bring into existence what is known as the King James Authorized Version. According to the history, there were several attempts made before to get the Bible to the people in the English language, but they was met with oppositions. America was discovered in 1492. These first translation of the Bible was far more literature than these later translations. The so-called Negro slave was not given the King James Version to read until it was over 300 years. The white slave master was not interested in educating the religious Negroes, and they are not today. So-called Negro now must understand that which was hidden from them by their slave masters. The mystery Babylon the Great is none other than America. This mystery Babylon is full of riches, hatred, filth, fornication, adultery. We see this drunkenness, murder of the innocent. We see idol worship. Mystery Babylon is full of names of blasphemy. America is full of religious faith of the most ignorant kind. She was once the greatest sell buyer and seller. She had the greatest merchant marine service, the world's greatest expert shippers, and the merchandise of wheats, beasts, sheep, horses, chariot, gold, silver, iron, brass, wood, slave, wine, flowers, corn, and many others. You must know that all of the revelation, or at least 90%, is directed to America. Revelation chapter 17, 18 should open the so-called Negro eyes to this right race and right Christianity. There is no hereafter for the right race. Some few who are in age will stick around for a while. America seemed to be the answer to many of the Bible and Holy Quran prophecy. In this mention, we see in Jeremiah 51, verse 9, that ancient Babylon could have been healed, but she was not, for her wickedness was such that she was neither healed nor forgiven. The charge against ancient Babylon, according to her history, was that she persecuted and imprisoned the Jews. She brought them into captivity from Jerusalem after the taking of Jerusalem by the kings. The king was also punished from his part in enslavement according to the ancient history of Babylon. The king had among the Jews who were held in captivity Daniel, a prophet of Israel. The king did not love Daniel in his prophethood, but he was able to get a last prophecy of destruction of Babylon from Daniel. But remember, he still held Daniel as a slave and a prisoner with the other common Jews. Under the king, see, Daniel was still alive and was used for revealing God's aim and purpose against Babylon. After studying the history and destruction of ancient Babylon under these two kings, we have a very good geographic picture pointing to a future people and country. The words, "who have healed Babylon, but she is not healed," do not say why she was not healed. Was there a possible chance for the Babylonians to be forgiven because of the evil done to the Jews, the sacking of Jerusalem, the destruction of their temple, and the bringing out from her temple the sacred vessels to be used for sport under their reign? Could this crime of the Babylonians be forgiven? If not forgiven, what does this teach us? Is not the history of ancient Babylon unforgiven? The evil sign that the future enslavement of God's people, American so-called Negro, will not be forgiven. Yet there may be a chance, as Babylon had, but they will not do that which God desired them to do, so that he may pardon them and forgive them and prolong their time. The revelation of John prophesies were that they repent not of their evil deeds, but blaspheme the very name of God. Revelation 16:9. Therefore, when a man is guilty of a great evil done against the cause of God and his people, he cannot be forgiven unless he seeks forgiveness himself. We see this in the working of the fall of America. I said fall, for most surely this is a divine fall of America, as it was ancient Babylon for an evil done to the Jews. Even to this late day, America does not want to repent of her evil done to her black slave. I have given her a right chance, but she does not want to do justice for our free slave to get the extension of time from Allah. She should free the slave indeed. The ignorant ones who want to stay with her just because they are too lazy to accept their own responsibility, too much in love with the unlike white people, who have attracted them to such extent that they have become a charm, want to remain with this white master even if they are just given food and shelter. See, this type of people is not wanted by any nations. See, no nation wants slaves on the basis of taking responsibility and care for them when they can care for themselves. The American black one slave for 400 years have now become a free, proud slave, and a lover of their children or their once slave masters. They refuse to white America to do something about justice for a so-called free slave is bring her into the same type of judgment that God brought upon ancient Babylon. Jeremiah 51:45 mentioned a warning to a people of God to flee out of Babylon. Could this be referring to the captive Jews of ancient Babylon? If God called the ancient Jews his people, it was for a sign of a future people that he would choose to call his people, the American so-called Negro.